and seeing?
Well, I've been seeing it firsthand in a lot of cases. A lot of my friends back in Russia are now trying to leave the country. I came to Istanbul myself after the invasion started. A lot of Russians did the same. But also, a lot of people stayed in Russia. Now, all of a sudden, people who are trying to keep their heads down, trying to just stick to their lives, are not able to do that because they're at risk of being mobilized, or their relatives are at risk of being mobilized.
Wow, man, that's it. Okay, I really don't want to talk about the Ukraine conflict because we're so inundated with that information every day. But I think it's crazy, man, that so many Russians, especially men, are leaving the country in droves because they're afraid to get mobilized. They're afraid to get drafted. And a comment on that video came from a Russian. The top comment said, the best way to leave is to leave your car at home to avoid suspicion because you don't want your neighbors snitching on you. Catch a bus or train to a border town and use bulk cutters or hop the gate. I mean, that's actually the top comment of that video. And it's just, as an American, we haven't experienced drafts since the Vietnam War, and as Americans, we really have never been attacked on our own soil. And America's been around for like 270 years, and we've never really been attacked, especially recently. And I just can't relate to that because I don't know how it feels to just live your life normally, and then one day the military comes and say, "Hey, you've been scripted into the war," and it's really amazing.
Dead and injured Afghans, it was hard not to wonder what had actually been achieved. And in Afghanistan, America was defeated as much by the international drug laws it helped to create as by any rebel group or militant ideology. This is how the illegal heroin trade has fundamentally reshaped Afghanistan as a country for 40 years, and how you can't understand the American failure there without it. Following the US invasion in 2001, Afghan opium production roared back to life. From 180 tons in 2001 to 3,000 in 2002 to over 8,000 in 2007, at that point providing 93% of the world's heroin supply. The years of US occupation were the golden age of the Afghan heroin trade. Only by now, the Taliban had learned its lesson. And it was the NATO coalition's moment to learn how useless and self-defeating it is to try to eradicate the illegal drug business.
All you have to do is fly with them over the opium heartland of Helmand province to see the impossible challenge they face. For mile after mile are poppy fields in the early stage of cultivation.
Not only were Afghan farmers not getting anything really useful in the way of advice or agricultural inputs from the Americans, but then they started destroying the crop. And farmers certainly saw that, they're destroying the crops, not only that hurt me, but I see that they've picked me because I'm supporting the wrong political faction. So this led to increased anger against both the Americans and the Afghan government.
The Taliban insurgency had several sources of funding, including donations from foreign sympathizers and selling stolen NATO equipment. But the opium trade was always amongst the most profitable, often generating north of $400 million a year.
Wow. So basically, Afghanistan is heroin has always been a problem there. The American government, the American military didn't really have any resources to tackle that problem. And actually what ended up happening is a lot of the Americans actually inadvertently defended these poppy fields. They inadvertently defended a lot. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Just the idea that you can go to one of these Afghan farmers and give them a couple $100 and you can get millions of dollars worth of heroin after you process it. And it's just, what do you do? These farmers can't make money from regular crops. They can't make money from growing regular agricultural crops, so they're growing heroin, and it's just amazing, man. It just goes to show you that there's really no easy solution to these problems. Peace.